I want to talk about the Telepathy Tapes by 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭. And if you haven't listened to it, I highly, highly recommend that you do. The second season was dropped, I don't know, I think maybe it was October of 2025. And I just finished it recently. I listened to the first season, it came out, and it was basically talking about people who are non-speaking on the spectrum of the autistic spectrum are speaking telepathically. And she has many stories from many families who have done many studies, and it has been shown over and over and over again the amazing communication that they're doing telepathically with families, with other people, and other people who are on the spectrum. It's just it's mind blowing, and I'm sure you've heard of it. And if you haven't, just check it out. Okay, so but I want to talk about the second season. So the second season, she starts looking at, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos on this. So she starts looking at other things that are not explainable by the way we like things explained, right? Like what we see, we can touch, physical evidence. And the first episode is near-death experiences. And she talks to people who have had these experiences. And specifically, she talks to one doctor who had his own experience and always was an atheist. And he has a book out. And for the life of me, like I said before, the names, I cannot remember the names. But if you listen to the episode, you'll hear about his experience and how he can no longer deny that it is the brain firing because it's dying, right? So he has scientific proof that that is not possible. So she goes in, see, each episode is different, and she goes into great detail. She does it in such a journalistic way that she goes into great detail talking to people who have expertise in different areas to sort of go beyond somebody who's just talking about these ideas without any kind of peer evidence or anything, right? And she really, really comes at it from an objective standpoint. Now, I am not objective. I am subjective. I've had my own experiences, not a near-death experience, but I've had my own mystical experiences that you cannot convince me that I didn't have. So I am not objective. I am very subjective. I believe in this stuff. I've always believed in it. And the older I get, the more evidence I've had and experiences I've had in my own life that show me that these things are true. So, she starts, that's the first episode. And then the second one is people who are psychic mediums and can talk to people who have passed on. And the empirical data of evidence they have collected about some of these people who really can do this, who really absolutely can do this. And they've been vetted and tested, and it's incredible. It is incredible. And she goes through, that whole episode is all about, she specifically is talking to about one person who was vetted to such a degree, and what this woman can do is just absolutely amazing. And she is bringing some of the people back in from the first season who are telepathic, who have these people who are on the spectrum, who can communicate with people who have passed over, with people who have passed on, right? They also have that skill and can talk to animals that have passed on. And then she gets into this whole episode about animal telepathy, which is, I believe 100% that is something that is true. People who talk to plants and trees, and people who and she's tried to recreate people having experiences when they take psychedelics. Like, so every episode is focused on a different thing. So I highly recommend that you listen to it. Go start from the first season, because the reason I'm saying this is this is where we're going. Okay. This is where we are evolving. This is our next step of evolution. We are going to a place where things that are false, things that are fake, things that are not true are not going to be able to be hidden any longer. We're coming to a point in our consciousness that those things are going to fall away. And the people that don't want to live in the world, who support the collective and want to do and live a life of integrity and truth, are going to be leaving, and how do I mean leaving? Well, they may leave the planet, they may die, or you may not be coming in contact with those kinds of people anymore because they will maybe break off into their own reality. Like I said, this is a hologram. We're living in a hologram. It's being projected back to us. And we're moving to a place where we are going to be telepathic. Now, that might not happen in my lifetime or your lifetime, but that is where we are going. Consciousness is growing. This is the next level of our growing, of our evolving. Evolving is the word I'm looking for. We're evolving to another level. Yeah, and many of us might not see it, but we're seeing signs of it. The Telepathy Tapes is one of the highest rated podcasts in the world, and that just tells you something, right? That tells you where we're going, because if people are listening to this and interested in this, that means somewhere deep down we know it's true, right? We're fascinated by it, right? Those things aren't being shut down and hidden anymore because they can't, right? They cannot. The top down is no longer sustainable. And that is why we're seeing a lot of the crumbling that we're seeing. It's too top heavy. It's not sustainable anymore. The people are coming up, and people are trusting their own intuition, and people are waking up, and we're seeing what's possible. So that's why I'm recommending, if you haven't already, go and listen to the Telepathy Tapes. I know she has a documentary coming out this year for what she recorded in the first season, and I cannot wait to see it. We work with the special needs population. We have a group home, and we have some girls that are on the autism spectrum who are nonverbal. I have a nephew who is non-speaking on the spectrum, and I swear he's telepathic. My mother and sister say that they can always know what he's thinking, and I think that he is telepathic. And we just haven't had a way to communicate, back to him the way that we want. And so, yeah, getting there. We're getting there, and it's exciting. So stop looking at all the bad stuff that's happening out there and start focusing in on the exciting things that are coming. All right. I just wanted to share that. I'll be talking more about the Telepathy Tapes. I'm going to probably be talking, in certain episodes that really resonated with me, and like get more deeper into that in other videos. All right, everybody, have a good one. Bye.